Hey guys, Rachel at Mr. Nola here. I wanted to come and show you guys how I do an ombre. So I've done a two-color ombre, which is fun. But anybody that knows me knows that I love rainbows. So I figured let's try to do a seven-color ombre, right? So we're gonna try to do the in rainbow order. I know the colors. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. I don't know how to say it together, but so we're going to use that. And this is going to be all holographic glitters, which are my favorite again. And all of these glitters are from the Less Bitter, More Glitter collection. So I'm using all of them except Virtue. I think I'm not using Virtue wherever I put it. Oh, excuse me, I'm not using Patience. Okay, so the colors that we're going to be using today are Love. Then we're going to go into Joy. And then Happiness, right? Virtue. Zen. Serenity. And Passion. So that's a whole bunch of rainbow, right? So I'm going to show you how I do that. The other products that I'm using today is for Rizzle Epoxy, which we have on our website. It's my go-to. I love it. I'm using a cup turner from the Cup Turner company. Jamie is awesome, and this one is in rose gold. It is beautiful. So go check her out. She has many colors. She has all these cool little inserts that will fit just about any cup that you can think of. Currently today, I am using a 20-ounce skinny from Steel Magnolia. So all of you know that is my go-to. I have spray painted it black. I ran out of matte black spray paint, so this is a gloss. I don't think it's going to make a difference, fingers crossed, but I don't know. So with that being said, I'm going to show you. I think my epoxy is pretty much settled and mixed, making sure there's no chunky stuff or whatever, and it was all mixed together. I'm going to show you guys how I do the epoxy method on my cup to apply my glitter, and we're going to rock out a rainbow, okay? So I'm going to turn you down. All right, there is our beautiful rainbow here. You don't want to look at that. You want to look at this. I have some spray paint marks on my cup. I don't sweat it. I've told you guys before. I don't worry about the small stuff. I create cups for fun. If I was doing it for profit, maybe I would take better care. You guys should take better care if you are selling these to people, by all means. You do not use a lot of epoxy when you're doing the epoxy method. You need less than what I just put on this cup. So I just scoop it on here, and then I take my time and I make sure to rub that epoxy in every square inch, every little crack and crevice, which there is no cracks and crevice because it's a straight cup, but until I have every inch of this cup covered, okay? You don't want a lot of epoxy on this part, because if you use too much epoxy, your glitter is going to pool. So it's going to look like it's underwater. It's going to look like it's wet when you do this. If it looks like that when you do this method, you have used too much epoxy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little trick to where you're not using too much epoxy. So if you need a little bit more to really make sure it's covered, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to make sure that you do not have too much. So it looks like a lot. This is more than I normally do if I'm doing it by myself, because I can take my time a little bit. But for the purpose of this video, I put a lot on here so I can show you how to take it off. All right, so I believe every part is covered, I'm just rubbing my hand. I like to wear small gloves because that way the epoxy doesn't pool in the top of your gloves. So I always wear small gloves when I'm doing the epoxy like this. Okay, so I'm going to take off this glove. I don't want to get any epoxy, and then I'm going to put a new glove on. All right. All right, and then I'm going to use this this tool here. So this is called a water slide squeegee. We have it on our website. You can get it at any beauty supply store. I think it was for makeup at some point or whatever, but it's perfect for water slide. If you noticed, it's got a little curve to it, so it fits on your cup perfectly. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to squeegee off any excess epoxy and put it right back in my cup. That way I know I do not have too much epoxy when I'm doing this layer, this step. Sometimes my words escape me. You will never be able to squeegee too much epoxy off of this cup. So I don't need you to worry about, oh my gosh, there's not enough, my glitter's not going to stick. Nonsense. Epoxy is not going to ever come off of something when it's wet all the way. Like this. So you're making sure that it's not too thick, so it's not making your glitter pool. So you just want a thin coat, thin as possible, just enough to use as an adhesive, a super glue almost, if you will. This will give your cups a really strong base. And epoxy method versus using Mod Podge, you use probably less than half the glitter than you normally use. Mod Podge, aka Devil's Glue, you guys know how I feel about the Devil's Glue. Some techniques you have to use it, but for glitter in your cups, I really strongly suggest you guys try a different method. That way you can really see how far your glitter goes when you use the epoxy method. A little bit goes a long way, and you really stretch your glitter. So glitter is not cheap, and this is not a cheap hobby or craft or job. So any way that you can make your supplies go further, I think that's a good idea. So I have gotten pretty much, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's enough, exactly what I need, and so we're going to go with that. What I'm not going to do, so I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start with my red. I will not be changing my papers out under here, because when I get to the bottom, I'm going to coat the bottom with this rainbow mixture. That's what I do. If you would rather not do that, by all means, change your paper every time. I'm going to change it real quick because it does have some epoxy on it, and I don't want it to stick. So I'm going to get a clean one. There we go. So that way it doesn't stick. Okay, so alrighty, we will start. I also put my glitter in these little bitty, I don't have them in shakers, I usually have them in big jars. So I put them in these little cups because they're easy to handle, and it's easy to sprinkle from this if you don't have shakers like I do. So I'm just going to start at the top. Let's see, make sure you guys can see this. I don't want my hand to cover it. Let's see, at a little angle. You guys can see this. So I'm just tapping it lightly. I'm going to start with the red. Slow and steady. Let me move this back so I don't cross-contaminate. I am not in a big hurry when I'm doing this because I want it to be right. And sometimes I get heavy-handed. So I just take my time. Like I've mentioned before, there's probably other ways to do this. This is my technique. Okay. I didn't measure my cup to know how far to go down, so I'm going to eyeball this. If I find out I ran out of room, instead of mixing the glitter for the bottom, we will put the bottom color down there. But I think we'll do good. All right. So there is my red. I think it's pretty much even-ish. Make sure the top is really covered. All right. Sorry about the ding dong. Our store is kind of busy today, which is great. All right, so that is the red, and that was love. Then I'm going to move on to the orange, which is joy. And I am going to sprinkle that right into there. I'm using a black base because this is a holographic glitter. I could have used a white base, but I went ahead and used this one. I like how holographic glitter looks on a black base. This is an opaque glitter, so it's not really going to change too much the look because you can't see through it. Opaque means you can't see through it, but I still like the way if there's any spaces, I like that you'd be able to see the black, because to me this holographic glitter is kind of has a black base, if you will. All right, the next one, we're moving on to happiness. Which this is our yellow, and I know it looks gold. Metallic glitters, you can't really have a yellow. And metallic, it's just gold. So this is like a yellow gold, if you will. You can use this as yellow or gold, whichever way you prefer. All right. That's my yellow. I'm moving on to Virtue, which is the green. So we're about halfway there. So this is about my halfway point. So I might have eyeballed it out a little bit. Might have did that pretty well. We'll see. And I'm just making my lines. If I see that I probably have to go back and ombre the colors together a little bit, that's fine. All right, then we are going on to Zen. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's pretty on that black. Super pretty. Somebody is calling me while I'm trying to do a video, so they'll have to wait. Maybe it was a butt dial. All right. The next one we have is Serenity, which is the dark indigo kind of. All right. Can you guys see that? Oh, I missed it. That blue came out a little bit too far. All right. All right, and then last but not least, we have Passion. And that's the purple. It looks really pretty down there on your paper too. There's just something about rainbow that I love. So my green is a little bit big, so I will come through here and ombre that yellow in here just a little bit, and I can bring down the orange and bring down the red. Okay. All right. And then I will go back with the orange and bring that down a little bit. Like so, and then I'll bring that red. I was a little hesitant to lay that red down too much because I didn't know how far I should go, so that'll be fine. I'll go back to the red. By all means, if you want to save that glitter at the bottom, do so. Change your paper. I'll have a little rainbow mix. We'll put these, we like to do molds around here, and so we'll fill a mold with this, and I'll actually put it at the bottom as well. All right, look at this green. Oops, sorry about that. This green needs to come down a little bit more into this blue. A little bit. Right there. Gorgeous. All right. So there you have it. That is our rainbow. And let me see. Let me get a cup so I can pick up the glitter at the bottom down here. Okay. That one was a mixed. I was trying to save it, but it was mixed. So maybe I'll just cover it with the purple at the bottom since I already have it. So with this turner, I love that I can pick it up and I can get the bottom of my cup really easy without a lot of problem. Perfect. So there you have it, guys. We have a 7 color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 color ombre. I think I will go ahead in about 2 hours. I'll come back and put a flood coat on this, and then maybe the next video I do, we'll do a peekaboo with this. I'll put some decals on it, we'll spray paint it, and we'll get the color from behind it. So there you have it. Same way. So that was 7 colors. You don't have to get crazy and use 7 colors. That's how you do it. That's how I do it anyways. Super easy. Give it a try. See what you think. Mix and match your colors. Mix and match glitter. I always start at the top. You can start at the bottom. You can start whichever way. And there you have it. So if you have any questions or anything, please leave your questions below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more things that I do or try to teach you guys, go check out my channel and subscribe. And a link to everything that I've used in today's video will be posted below here. You can go check us out at MrNolasGlitter.com and see all of our glitter that we offer and all of our supplies. And then if you want even more content, come over to Facebook and join our group and come hang out with us and have fun and meet some really cool, crafty, talented people. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye now.